It's fantasy football draft season. We got to pay attention to the preseason games. We got to know who's the RB2 for some of these teams. Those guys who are on the come up. If an injury hits, who's the next man up? So we're going to go over some news from preseason, some players who are stepping up. We did this yesterday, but there's more players to cover, and we're going to do that right now. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at your players every day. We're looking at draft strategies. We're going to help you set your lineups, and we're going to find those gems off the waiver wire every single day. Click that button. Stop missing out. First player we're looking at here is DJ Giddens of the Colts. He looks like he's the RB2. Next man up with touches, beating out Herbert with a good prospect profile coming out of Kansas State. Very high on him coming out for the draft. This is a very deep running back class. So you got to understand there's going to be a lot of day 3 guys that does something in the league. And if something happens to Jonathan Taylor, everybody's going to be running to the waiver wire for DJ Giddens. So if you got more than 15 rounds that you're drafting, DJ Giddens definitely a guy you're looking at. And it could be even around that 15 round mark, depending on your build, depending on what you want to do and who you want your lottery ticket to be. Because honestly, once you get this deep into the lottery ticket range at the running back position, it's attrition, it's injuries, and anything can happen during the season. And he was very productive at Kansas State. Good size adjusted athleticism. And as a running back here, that if something does happen to Jonathan Taylor, could emerge. And now we're looking at Will Shipley. He's getting touches over A.J. Dillon. He looks like he's going to be the RB2 here. He's cheap, back into the drafts. Another lottery ticket running back. Very good at Clemson, former 5-star running back. So if something happens to Saquon Barkley, everybody's going to be rushing to him off the waiver wire. If you're looking for a cuff to Saquon, Will Shipley's more ambiguous, does have some upside to his name. And then on top of that, might be sharing the work with A.J. Dillon anyways. But if you're looking at the reps at preseason, Will Shipley looks like he'd be the next man up for the touches behind Saquon Barkley. Luther Burden's been going off. He's knocking people's faces off, run blocking. He can get you yards after the catch. He's a former 5-star recruit. He's been torching everybody in training camp. If you're looking for a lottery ticket wide receiver here that could emerge as a top 12, top 10 wide receiver, it could be Luther Burden. He's had that written on him since high school, and all he's been doing is flashing. Even in Missouri, where it wasn't advantageous for his production. All he's been doing is flashing this whole time. He was injured from like May 20th to the start of training camp, so he missed a little bit of training camp. So he didn't really have a ramp-up period, but once he got back on the field, he started killing it. That's the first thing you notice from Luther Burden. Luther Burden, if you're looking for a wide receiver who could go off and become a top 10 asset in fantasy football and that unexpected player, that's him. And he's also going in parts of drafts where the wide receiver position's thinning out. You're deep into the RB2s. You're looking for cheap tight ends and cheap quarterbacks. You have the availability to be able to get him and see if you can cash hard with him. Rashard Smith. When or if Rashee Rice is suspended, he's going to get more opportunity. He's going to get opportunities somewhere down the line this season. Could be later. Could be double-digit weeks. We got 4.3 speed. We can be utilized as a wide receiver. We kind of got that Jerick McKinnon in our game. The Chiefs seem like they want their Jerick McKinnon back. Isaiah Pacheco was hurt last year. Kareem Hunt's older. Elijah Mitchell seems to always be injured. So you're looking at this roster. There's a chance that we're deeper into the season and Rashard Smith could be seeing some opportunities. And you're looking at Ricky Pearsall. And Juwan Jennings hasn't been out there. Brandon Ayuk hasn't been out there. Ricky Pearsall is twitched up, looking good. He looked good at the tail end of the season. He was injured last year / shot, so missed a good part of the season. Has been looking good in training camp. Has been getting a lot of reps. This is a wide receiver that you're seeing in the middle rounds that could be springing forward in production. Keandre Lambert-Smith. Quentin Johnston went down in this game. Keandre Lambert-Smith took over for his role. He plays the X just like Quentin Johnston. So if Johnston goes down, Keandre Lambert-Smith is the next man up. That is very important to note. He's been killing it in training camp. He's going to be getting deep balls downfield, 4.3 speed, can break off routes, has good tape from college. Target leader for Auburn, and prior to that, target leader for Penn State. This is a wide receiver that we've been watching closely. all throughout training camp. Trey Harris plays a different spot. If you've been wondering, that's why. You're looking at Lambert Smith, though. There's upside if Quentin Johnston is out. Emeka Egbuka had a touchdown. We're watching Jalen McMillan because he's dealing with an injury. But Egbuka is in the range of the draft where you're looking at ambiguous wide receivers. First-round prospect with a quarterback that slings the rock, who will sling it his way, does not care who you are, and an offense that will be in some shootouts. You got veteran wide receivers, Chris Godwin. We want to see if he comes back. Mike Evans missed some time last year. He's on the back nine of his career, so that could always happen, more likely due to that. Doesn't mean it will, but Emeka Egbuka could be a guy that surprises you this year because he's very technical and sound. Pat Bryant had some moments. He had some moments, and we've been talking about him. He's a late-round dart throw. There's not many dart throws at wide receiver. The Broncos are glowing up here. Bo Nix is in year 2. Sounds like he's looking good. From the joint practices, the other team's talking him up. They're saying he does look like he's looking better. They're adding pieces to this offense at running back and tight end. Like Evan Ingram, he's getting a lot of targets. He's getting a lot of opportunity. Tight end 9, but he can be productive. He was hurt last year, but he's been productive, highly athletic with a quarterback that lives to play another down. So he's not going to push it downfield when it's unnecessary. He's going to go to his outlet. Evan Ingram, RJ Harvey. He's going to be going to those guys. Targets are going to go to Evan Ingram this year. Isaac Tesla. And we're looking at him. And a lot of people are talking him up. He's going to be a fun wide receiver this year. I think he's going to be okay for best ball. I think he's going to have a few moments. He's going to be a gamble throw-in in some of your daily fantasy football lineups, mainly for large tournaments where there's max entries and you can create a bunch of lineups. He's going to be getting good average depth of target. He's going to get targets deep downfield. If something happens to Jameson Williams or Amon-Ra, this offense is going to look a lot different. Targets could shoot up. And with those two wide receivers there's 50 to 60% of the targets zapped. And then Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get a lot of targets. It's hard for them to have a consistent wide receiver 3 for fantasy production. But considering his deep ball ability, his speed, his size and length, looking at how he plays the game, there's going to be some splash moments out of him this year that is going to be hard to predict, but are moments that you're going to try and gamble on during the right matchup when the over-unders are pushing 50, when the DBs of the other team has been getting torched over the last few weeks, when it looks like Amon-Ra might be shadowed a little bit more. They take out wide receiver 1s. They might be going to another approach here with Tesla in those matchups. And you might be able to exploit that to win $1 million, $100,000, $10,000, daily fantasy football. You're doing 100 lineups in those tournaments. Maybe you sprinkle a little bit of Tesla in. Those are the players that we're looking at from preseason. I dropped another video yesterday, so altogether we talked about 25 players from preseason. The risers, the fallers, everything else all baked together. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.